Hello guys. That's actually interesting. So sorry, I'm just chatting later. Awesome time was. You and me? How you doing, brother?
Hey, can you hear that sound?
Sound.
I don't know. We're in Turkey or something. I feel like I'm on Sky Sports. I can't actually hear you. Hold on a second. Hello?
You know?
Not clearly.
I can hear myself, obviously. Hold on.
Much better.
I'm sure. You can hear me now?
Much better.
Right. Let me just get these in. Can you hear me now, much better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Pistol Pete will probably join us shortly, but yeah, man. How you doing, man? How you finding the news that we've actually signed 2 players, bro?
You know what? I haven't seen either of them play.
What?
I've never seen them play.
You do realize that they played in the same league as us. You know that, right?
You don't only watch Newcastle, innit?
I know you only watch Newcastle, but bloody hell, we do play against teams like Bournemouth, right?
You know what? I heard of Callum Wilson, but did Callum Wilson ever score against us?
I don't know. Here's Pistol Pete. He might be able to fill us in.
Pete's much better.
Yes.
What's going on,
boys.
bro? I mean, I've hit for me with the first question. With the first question about how you're looking forward to our new signings, and he's like, "I've never seen him play." I'm like, "Okay." I mean, the fountain of knowledge that is from me, it just precedes him. Like, I mean,
look, do we expect anything less, Clinton? Do we expect anything less?
I was so busy watching Kai Havertz highlights here.
Well, listen, at least from me, you can see Kai Havertz in the Premier League next season.
Hey,
he won't be in the black and white shirt.
I almost cried, bro. I said, "Wow, this was supposed to be us."
Look.
We'll be next. We'll be next.
They got Kai Havertz. We got Jeff Hendrick, and now, yeah, exactly, baller, yeah. And now we've got Ryan Fraser and big man Callum. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we're doing all right, bro. But
you know what? Yeah, I thought to myself, "Is this Newcastle? Like, we signed 2 players in a day."
That's what I'm saying. So we signed 2 players in a day. Jamal Lewis left the Northern Ireland squad to come and pretty much put pen to paper to be the 3rd signing. 3 signings.
That's a madness. When I saw a bid accepted, I just kept quiet. You know what, man? Let me just be quiet. We're about to get a quality left back, and why? Why do we deserve this?
Honestly, seriously, it was. I would like to find out when we last signed 2 players in the same day.
That's what I said.
2 good players. 2 good players.
Yeah, good players. Definitely.
Like no, you know the ones where we used to have to Google the man's name. How do you spell that? KC.
That reminds me of Ashraf Lazar.
Oh,
when we signed him for 4 million, I was like, okay, it's what we need. Who is he?
Yeah.
Bro, Xavier and all them man, they're like, who are these people?
I mean, yeah, we've actually gone and signed, I think, some Premier League quality. And people might say, you signed from Bournemouth, but then always hitting back with, Man City signed Ake. So if Man City can sign Ake from Bournemouth, who got relegated, I think little old Newcastle, well, not little old Newcastle, but Newcastle can sign two players from them. And they're two good players as well, two of their better players as well. Wilson goes without saying, knows where the back of the net is. England international, fellas. When is the last time we've had an England international within our ranks?
When's the last time I had an English player, bro? He's normally French.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true.
Look, we don't discriminate against where the people come from, but I'm just saying, someone with caps to their names, and I'm not talking about new era or whatever caps. I'm talking about full-on England international caps. And then Ryan Fraser's no slouch either. Boy, assist king when he peaked, like before, was it the season before he had like most assists or something like that?
Yeah,
so,
most. I think it was only him and Hazard. I think Hazard was second in the Premier League, and in the last two seasons, I think there's only Trent and Andrew Robinson that have got more assists in the last 2 years than him. So you know what I mean. He's coming with a pedigree to create, and that's what we lack. We lack someone that's putting the ball in the net, but we also lack someone that's going to regularly create good chances. We've got, and this is what I talked about. Sorry to go on. This is what I talked about when we last had a chat. It's about someone to take the pressure off Alan St-Maximin. Not having to expect him to be the one to create everything, every game, every minute of every game, because that's why he runs himself into the ground. He's going to be buzzing tonight. He's going to be buzzing. He's already welcomed the guys in on Twitter, and I'm not surprised because he's thinking, flipping out. For one, I've got someone to supply this time in Wilson. I've got someone that's not just a big lump that's going to hold up the ball. He's actually got fantastic movement off the ball that's going to provide him space to play those balls into. As well as that, I've got someone on the other side of the wing that can create just as well as me. So now I'm not expected to do all the business. It will also take the pressure off Almiron because there was pressure on him to create when St-Maximin wasn't there. Exactly. So it just takes the pressure off all of them. And like, when have we had three? If we play the same formation we have done, so you'll have Almiron in the middle, Fraser and St-Maximin either side, and then Wilson up top. When have we had that type of pace? And
I'm doing the Birdman hand rub right now. I'm doing the Birdman hand rub. What's going on?
It's true. Like, when have we had that type of pace and creativity in our front line? It's been a long time. And you know, it's exciting. It's exciting. In what's been a shit 6 months, we've finally got something to look forward to. You know what I mean? And that's the positive.
And even if Bruce gets the sack, we get like a foreign manager to just put the team into a next level.
Hey, look, listen, credit where it's due. I've got to give listen, lads, I've got to give credit where it's due. Bruce and Charlie and whoever pulled this one off, or pulled both of them off, and Lewis to come as well. So credit where it's due. You might not be our favourite cup of tea, definitely isn't mine. But at the same time, we've got results and we've got two players in 1 day of that ilk. No Johnny Foreigner, who we don't know, who's got one in 50 games or whatever. Callum Wilson has said England international.
But why are you taking shots at Jolene? Say it with your chest, fam. Say it with your chest.
People know. And that's the other thing as well. He took this. Hold on. He took
Man ain't got a kit already.
No. I'm just going to show you this number. See that?
Yeah.
See that? Wilson went, that's my blue boy.
You know mine. What? It's not been confirmed yet, but it's probably 98% that he has got that number. And you know what? Damn right he should have that number because he's a guy that scores goals. I don't know if you watched his couple interviews today. One on the Newcastle website, one on Sky. And on the Newcastle website, he was talking about, you know, how he scored 8 goals last season and how he ain't happy about that. He was like, that's nowhere near his own capabilities, and now he wants to be at least double figures. That's the type of striker that I'm talking about. My man wants to score goals. I ain't talking about Joe Linton that says he ain't bothered about if he scores goals or not. We've now got a striker that wants to put the ball in the back of the net. And you know what? He would demand that. He's hungry. He didn't have his best season last season. He obviously was disappointed to go down with Bournemouth. He's obviously fighting for England to get in that Euro squad. My man's going to be hungry. He's going to be hungry for this. And that's exactly the type of striker we want.
Could this mean like Jolinton might play on the left in some games then?
Jolinton will be lucky to get in the squad. I'm serious. I'm serious. Seriously. I'm not even joking. I'm not even saying it like
you men are cold, man. You men are cold.
I'm being serious. Honestly, if you look at the back end of Restart, right? He was on the bench. Bruce has had enough of him. You could see Bruce has persisted with him throughout the season when his fans got on his back and said, "Why is he still playing?" At the back end of Restart, my man wasn't even getting in the squad. Or sorry, he wasn't getting in the squad. He wasn't even getting in the first 11. Now you throw Wilson in there, and you've got a fit Andy Carroll coming back in. My man's third choice. He's third choice.
No, but they might play him as a striker, Pete. We might not be a striker for us.
No, listen.
But even so, if Fraser and Alan Maximum are fit, they play. It's as simple as that. And remember, Richie ain't got anywhere yet, so we've got him as an option. So he's fourth choice. My man ain't getting on the pitch.
Pete,
rightly so.
Pete, nail meet the head. Literally, Pete just smashed it to pieces. Look, Joe Linton, the only reason that he was staying or playing or anywhere near the first team was that price tag. That is it. Because it wasn't on ability, no way. And another one from me that you'll definitely like to hear of, Atsu. Done. Done out here.
Yeah, but that goes without saying. Listen, if you wanted to excite me, you should have said he signed a new deal with Celtic or something. That would have gassed me. I mean, the fact that he's still there still scares me.
Hopefully not long. Long.
I mean, listen, Christian Atsu, nice guy and all the rest of it, but we don't want nice players. We want players that can play.
Nice guy. I don't know him.
No. He does a lot of charity work and all the rest of it. That's what I'm saying. That nice guy stuff. But I'm talking about
do assists. That's what you do, not charity work.
That's what I'm saying. Ryan Fraser, assist king. How can I assist you? That's all I wanted to see. And I'm thinking already in my mind, I was thinking about the possible formations, whether it be two up top, whether it be three floating behind Wilson. It could the opportunity is endless, bro. I'm like, oh my god, you know.
I'm just waiting for that moment where I can say it's like watching Brazil.
Listen, I'm sure you said that about 6 times when we
the only time we'll be saying that is when we're playing in our away kit, mate. That's the only time. It kind of looks similar, but I don't know about all of that sort of stuff. But like Wilson, Fraser, potentially Jamal Lewis now coming in and signing as well. So left back slot be sorted.
Hey, what a great chairman we've got.
Don't. Seriously, you're killing me right now.
And the thing is as well, I've been having so many debates online with one of my guys from West Ham Fan TV, shout out Dan Lawless, and he's been saying, we should have a debate on who's got the worst chairman. Yeah. And then lo and behold, we go inside 2 players, and now we've lost that argument. That's the only time I'd happily lose an argument.
Hey, can I just say as well, the Palace were looking at Fraser. Villa wanted Callum Wilson. They both said, nah, we're getting Newcastle.
Yeah.
So there's something about our club that people respect. Do you see what I'm saying?
And one relied on the other. I think Fraser relied on.
Yeah. Once Fraser, Once Wilson signed, Fraser said, "I'm good." Plus, he's closer to his family in Scotland, and think about it, because they already have a relationship. We're laughing, so we don't have to worry about. I'm just worried about how Maximus going to be like. Now, I ain't passing for the first 20 minutes. I still got to remind the fans that I'm the guy here, innit? I just want him to understand that you don't have to overdo it. Let them do their thing, innit?
ASM is still the guy. I just hoping, and this is purely my negative head on. Sorry if I got to say this, but I have to. I just hope it's not at the detriment of selling one player. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Yeah. So if we can keep everyone here, everyone together. I know.
Wait, selling who? Selling who?
ASM. Look, it's worth money.
No, we're selling AM. AM. We're selling Atsu. We ain't selling ASM just yet. Hell no.
If we get a good offer, I'm
from
sorry.
Who though? Who's gonna come for him?
What? People would have paid
right now. No one's got that money.
Right now. Bro, come on.
Nah, I don't see ASM going. I don't. If he was going, we'd have heard by now.
You know what? I've got to agree with Fumbi on that. I have to, because look. Only the big teams have got the big money at the moment. People are signing players, but not for a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like they're just not. If it was in a different window, we probably would have missed out on Jamal Lewis. Liverpool probably would have paid more.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's been that type. It's that type.
We were fortunate. Yeah.
We were lucky. There's a key to all of this. There's a key to all of these deals being done. So you've got the Wilson deal. The Wilson deal doesn't happen unless Fraser wants to come to Newcastle originally. Right,
Mm.
those two are best mates. I think they've lived next door to each other down in Bournemouth for a number of years. They are literally best mates. So once one knew the other one was going, that's where the deal was done. The reason why, as well, Bournemouth have accepted our deal compared to Aston Villa's is because we're paying the cash up front.
Mm.
That's the one positive of Mike Ashley.
Yeah,
those deals get paid cash up front. So teams ain't got to wait. Bournemouth in the Championship ain't got to wait 2, 3, 4 years to get their 20 million. Like we sanctioned our. Well, we're still receiving money for our Sissoko deal from Spurs. You know what I mean? Because it was in 5 million or whatever million installments. That's the key. That's the key. And it's the same with Jamal Lewis.
Same with Jamal, yeah.
We're paying 13, 14 million, whatever it is,
to rise to 17.
But it's up front. That 14 million is going in that bank tomorrow, and then the additions will get paid whenever. And that's the key, because there's not a lot of teams, even teams with more money than us. There's not a lot of teams that do that. But because we're in the position that we are, and we've got that owner that wants to do that, that helps. It means we get them a little bit cheaper because they wanted 20 million bank as well as additions. But because we're paying it up front, they're taking the lesser money.
Also, Pete. Oh, sorry. No, go on.
I was just
saying. Luckily for us, the COVID period, the turnaround is quick. People ain't really got time to be thinking. You see what I'm saying? It's like, let me just get this over with now and start playing football again. So we were very fortunate this window. And funnily enough, I think Mike Ashley still wants to sell the club because he's like, look, I got to do something. Do you see what I'm saying? Because normally we'd be stalling on these deals.
The injuries have forced us on.
Yeah,
the injuries have forced our hand. I think these deals would have been done, but I think they probably wouldn't have been done in time for the start of the season. That has definitely forced our hand.
Remember, Pete, I said in the group, I said, I know it was wrong to say, I said, I hope Gail's out for a bit, because I knew if Gail was out for a bit, we'd have no choice but to move. I knew if Gail stayed fit, we wouldn't be moving like this.
Exactly. Callum Wilson woun't be here right now if he hadn't. And as bad as it sounds, you take that to get the caliber of player in that we've got. Yeah. Now, Gail coming back in January is going to be a massive positive. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you've actually got a similar type of striker, maybe not as good, but a similar type of striker that can do the same job. So then you've got two to choose from, and then you got Carroll as a backup. But I was going back to what Clinton said about Steve Bruce, because you know what, actually, fans get on his back. We've got on his back so many times, but actually, I actually fair play to him. For getting
he wants to do something. You could tell he wants to do something.
The one thing that he did straight away, and we heard it a few weeks ago, is that he said he only wanted to buy British-based players, players that were based around the Premier League. That was the one. And the fact that he's gone and got Wilson, Fraser, Jamal Lewis, looking at Hendricks, already signing, got Gillespie as the goalkeeper, all British players. So that says to me that they are his signings. Yeah. So you know what? Fair play for Bruce for doing that, because he identified the British players that he wanted. He's now got them. The key is he's had money spent. Yeah. He's been given a lot. What other managers, I'm not naming any names, but other previous managers, he's been given money that previous managers haven't got, and got his first choice signings that previous managers haven't got.
Over the line before the transfer window ended.
Exactly. He's got to back that up now. Bruce has got to back that up. There's pressure on him.
Oh yeah.
And I know we've joked about it before, but don't be surprised if we're not doing the business come November, December. Don't be surprised if he gets the chop. Yeah, I mean,
because you know it is, Pete. It's similar to Frank Lampard's situation. You're given all this quality, you got to deliver. You see what I'm saying? So when I said even if Bruce gets the sack, it wasn't because I just know Lampard's been given the quality, but if you can't coach that quality, it don't make no difference. And same as Bruce, he's got some very good players, a lot of talented players. Jamal Lewis is 22, so he's relying on Steve Bruce to get him to that next level. Yeah. So if that's not being shown, then that's what I meant. But you're right, credit to him, because believe me, I've been sitting now. How many times do we get to watch Sky Sports News and actually see we've signed players? Yeah. Normally it's just the link. Like, how long have we been linked with this guy?
We're not
I
just
don't
signing
even
him.
read them.
We're on the yellow ticker at the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're doing interviews and people are asking questions. And Newcastle on credit or something. Look at Everton. Like, Everton got Doucouré. How much would you get? They just got them in quickly. No long thing, no speech. Get them in. And they got a good manager. So that's what I want. I just want, look, don't link us with half the league and then drag it on to end of the window. And then we're already 4 games behind by then. Get it done, And so it's a good feeling. After the COVID period we had and the complete embarrassment afterwards, I'm just happy to get some talent in.
Definitely.
You're completely right. And I'm just buzzing, man. Like, I've never woke up on a Monday, especially on a Monday as well, and then thought, you know what? We're signing 2 players today. Like, never. One in the
Bro,
morning.
I thought it was a lie. I thought when you were putting the message in the group on Saturday, I was like, they've accepted the bid. Like, when Sky Sports doing, you're like, right, they've accepted a bid. And then I started to think, what's going to go wrong? The flight's not going to take off, or they're not going to like the training ground. What's going to go wrong? And then I heard today, men are doing training sessions,
Yeah.
And the thing is, we wrapped it up pretty quickly. Like, for us, we kind of usually drag our feet a little bit. We take our time. We get out the cliche quotes and all the rest of it. Done. No, done. I'm literally posting in the chat. Okay. Callum's holding the shirt. Cool. Ryan Fraser's on the way. Oh, cool. Oh, Jamal Lewis is driving up to Newcastle. All right, cool.
The Jamal Lewis one shocked me the most, man. That one caught me surprised.
We're moving like a normal club, guys. It's really hard to fathom. It's like we're actually moving like organised.
My brother said it's that Saudi money on the low.
You know what I was thinking? I was like, I've actually done something little sneaky.
A lot of people have been saying it.
It's that Saudi money we're spending.
You know that £17 million that apparently we got for as a down payment. As he said, you know what? There you go.
What? Bun it, innit? Bun it.
There you go. There you
Seriously. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's where the Callum Wilson money's coming from.
Look,
because we've always looked clueless in the window, like being linked with like £5 million players and dragging that on for 2 weeks. This time when I heard 20 million, I said Newcastle got 20 million.
20 million. And we're spending another further, 13, 14 million on Jamal Lewis. That's like £35 million, lad. That's why I'm like, oh, what's going on?
That's what we should have done last season, though, man. We spent 40 million, too much on a striker. Too much.
Look, we'll go back to. I just want to forget last season. I want to forget. I want to forget that Joe Linton. I just want to miss that. Forget that Joe Linton signing. Look, we've got him now. To be honest, I think we're already in the transition of moving him out, and I think moving him out the starting lineup into the squad. I think that will unless he turns it around. I think that will transition into him not making it into the squad. And I honestly believe it wouldn't surprise me by January or the end of the season that he gets loaned out. It would not surprise me.
I'll tell you what, lads. Before we get any further, we've got to go through the starting lineup. So, with the players that we've got in now, okay, we've got Hendrick in, we've got Fraser in, we've got Wilson in. With the players that we've got already, whether everyone's fit and able. So obviously Dubravka's at the moment, but again he will start. Who plays in the starting 11 for me? Or for you, sorry. For us.
What formation are you playing, though?
Good point as well. Good point.
I don't know the formation. I just know Hayden and Shelby have to be in the mid. I just know Hayden. No, forget Shelby. I just know Hayden has to play.
Hold your horses.
If we do the 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1. So Dubravka, without a doubt, I think it's safe to say we pick Dubravka. At the back, then 4-2-3-1. So 4 at the back, obviously, we're saying. So let's start with a right back situation.
Makilo.
Okay.
Yeah, Manny has to start.
I like Makilo, man. I like Makilo. I like him.
Manny on the map, yeah. Okay. Manny on the map.
I mean, you know what? Kraft, he's not the fastest, but he can cross, bruv.
Yeah. He's not a starter for me, though.
He's not a starter, though. He's not a starter. But what I meant was, when he played in those games, the problems weren't necessarily him.
Yeah, no.
And when he got forward, he gave the ball away. He gave the ball out. He had an assist that game, and it was a great pass. So I'm thinking, if he gets some games, he can be useful.
Was it against Bournemouth that assist you were talking about?
Yeah, I think it was against Bournemouth. Yeah,
I think everyone played well against Bournemouth. That's.
But I'm not saying he's a starter.
He's better in a 4 though. When we transition to a 4,
yeah.
The restart games is where he actually was first playing for us in a back 4. And I think the assist was actually against West Ham at home.
Yeah, it was actually against West Ham.
And to be fair, in both of those games, he looked decent. He's not amazing. He's another one that will eventually get transitioned out and probably get loaned back to a French club or whatever. But for now, you take him in the squad. I think Yedlin will go before the window's done. His heart's not in it. You can tell his performances in pre-season. He don't want to be there. But Manquillo is the one. He's just got a new deal. He's coming off the back of a good season last season. For me, he has to be the starting guy.
Right.
He's got a good balance with both attacking and defending.
And defence.
This is where it gets a bit sticky. So when we're moving into the centre-half situation, we've got about 5 or 6 that we can play there, and that's without even signing potentially Rob Holding. So Lascelles probably is the one that's a definite. Obviously, he's captain. We've got Clark, Lejeune, Cher, who else? Forget Fernandez. Dummett potentially as well. So those are the 6 really, and then obviously Holden potentially coming in as well. So as I said, Lascelles is probably the one that's guaranteed to start being captain. But who partners him? Who goes alongside him?
I would say Fernandez for now because they had a great partnership last season.
Yeah.
So I'd keep that. Clark is good. He's good. Like he improved over like a couple of seasons. He was just like, okay, I didn't know he had this talent, but because he's been out for so long, I'd start with Fernandez.
It's easy for me. Fede Fernandez is the one. He's the constant. Since he got himself back into the team, what was it, October, mid-October time? He's been in the team ever since. He's pretty much played every minute of restart. The guy's an absolute warrior. At 30, 31 years old, he's a warrior. And he's no nonsense. He's not flashy. He's not great on the ball. But I tell you what, he puts his head in where he needs to, and he defends everything.
Defends, man. And you know what, Pete? Have you noticed Pete, he loves the club? Yeah,
he does. Genuinely, he loves playing for the club. He loves. I think he feeds off the fans. He feeds off how much the fans want it. And I know the fans ain't in there at the moment, but he loves it. He loves playing for the club, and that's the kind of player that you want. And let's be honest, him and Lascelles have had the best partnership over the last year.
Yeah. In a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Like when's the last time you had a partnership defense?
Yeah.
To be honest, the weird thing is we've got a lot of centre backs, but actually there's a number of those centre backs that I don't really rate now. Shaw for me, done. Dummett for me is a squad player maximum. Yeah. Like left back or centre back, he doesn't start for me. Like he's a squad player, someone to come in and play the odd 1 or 2 games while someone's injured or suspended. He's that type of player. Kieran Clark for me, he plays well, but I question again. Now he's had this long layoff. Is he going to come back the same player? Lejeune for me is finished. These injuries have taken his toll. I think he's been a fantastic player for us, and really without these injuries could have been our Fernandez, our mainstay.
He'd been our captain by this point.
For me, without those injuries, it could have quite easily been Lejeune and Fernandez, our centre backs, and Lascelles coming out the team. But these injuries just seem to have taken their toll on him, and I can see us cashing in for him and Shaw. To be honest,
if he didn't get injured, I don't even think he'll be at Newcastle this season. Like he's a very talented defender, very good defender. Yeah. But the injuries, man, he's never had a constant run. So I think we should get rid. I think he's done as well. Yeah, that's why I'd like Holding to come in. Definitely.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate one. Obviously, moving on to left back, it goes without saying if we're going to only sign one left back, it's got to be Lewis. Dummett will probably be his number 2.
I mean, Lassar was a good shout. I mean, I was really this close, but I'm have to edge it to Lewis.
He's still in Italy, man. Bruce told him to stay away. Seriously, he's been in Sardinia for the last 6 weeks.
Out here, bro.
Honestly, have you seen his interview? You seen his interview?
What?
There was a short interview somewhere. It came out the other day, and basically he was saying how he felt like he could offer something to Newcastle this season. And he wanted a chance, and he thought he'd get a chance because obviously Bruce was his manager when he went on loan to Sheffield Wednesday last year or the year before, and Yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm going to get a chance, but I've been told to stay away. So Bruce has basically told him, yeah, don't bother coming back. Don't bother coming back.
Don't waste the flight money.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Guys, look, I mean, I hate to do this, but I have to bring up the R word. I've got to bring up Rafa. Rafa's got to take an L for that one because it was his signing. Apparently, he signed him on big money as well. Apparently, he's taking 40 bags a week. So, boy, he's got to take an L for that one. I haven't forgot the people in the chat. Shout out to Sharky, Liam, Troops, David Waller, everyone else listening in. Liam's actually brought up that we're supposed to be signing Lewis and some Brazilian. I'm guessing he's talking about Rogerio. I don't think we're going to sign both of them, if I'm honest. £30 million. I know you hope we do, but I don't think we're going to spend 30 million on two left backs. I wish we could.
Hey, if we sign both, then
if we do,
hey, Mike Ashley needs to get some respect in these streets.
Put some respect to Mike Ashley. If we said 30
he needs to get some respect in these streets.
Look, it's been clear from when we had the bid accepted for Jamal Lewis that a lot of the reporters knew and didn't mention anything that Jamal Lewis was our number one target, and rightly so, particularly as we talked about a minute ago that we were looking to buy British players. But actually, Rogerio is a talented young player. Again, I think he's 22 himself. Young.
Pete, what happened to that Greek guy? What happened to that Greek guy that was linked to?
Well, but this is the thing. Because he is also a talented player and he comes a lot cheaper. And that would have been a classic Mike Ashley signing. But actually, we've gone for ready-made Premier League experience type players. Now, you're paying a little bit more for those left backs. But if you've got Rogerio and you've got Jamal Lewis, you've got two young left backs that could take Newcastle forward for the next 10 years. Easily. Now,
hey Pete, you know what though? I think he just revealed Mike Ashley's game plan. You know, we're gonna get Jamal Lewis balling and sell him for 70.
Yeah,
I mean that English tax.
I think about every single signing that we get. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I think that every single time we spend big, like Ronaldo when we signed him, he ain't gonna be there for long. St. Maximin when he signed him, he ain't gonna be there for long. Lewis, man.
But if we get 70 mil, bro, I'm laughing.
Bro, what are we playing? We're playing real life Football Manager here. Can't we just like really enjoy it? Like, let's enjoy having a decent team for once. Come on, let's not think about that.
Well, you know, we're thinking in the future because it's not going to happen anytime soon. But you'd like to think that by staying in the league and having another positive season, that these guys could flourish under a new ownership and be players to build a team around. You know what I mean? So, like, yes, they're coming in on 5-year deals or whatever, but you would hope that they're the ones that you're building your team around, and you'd then be getting other players in to support these guys. That's what you'd hope. But again, like I said, Rogerio is very similar to Jamal Lewis. They play very similar. Got bags of pace. Can defend. He's probably better in attack. Can both whip a ball in. They're just very, very talented young left backs, and it's nice to be linked to these type of players. And there was a thing out about an hour ago saying that Rogierio's already got his bags packed and he's just waiting for the green light. He's literally waiting for the green light, and it'd be so harsh on him to be told, actually, nah, they don't want you anymore. You know what I mean? It'd be so harsh. But yeah,
we've got options, Pete. We've got these options. It's crazy.
The funny thing at left back, we only got one.
No, I'm seeing options in terms of who we could bring in. I mean, like, usually we look at
I reckon we'd loan a left back.
Usually we look at one person. If we don't get him, that's it, done. But we're actually looking at this Greek guy. Sorry, I forgot his name. We look at Rogerio, Jamal Lewis. Like, we're actually thinking, okay, we don't get him, we get here. If we don't get him, we're actually thinking logically. This is how other teams think, and we don't usually think like that. It's just that's it, tunnel vision. But
me personally, and I know we'll move on to another topic in a sec, but me personally, the only reason we've still got Dummett right now is because he fills our homegrown quota, because he comes through the academy.
He does a double job.
And he does a double job. But for me, the bigger problem that we've got with Paul Dummett is that he just picks up far too many injuries. And the injuries he picks up are not just 1 week, a few days here and there. You're talking months. He's out for, when he gets these injuries, he's out for 2, 3, 4 months at a time. And they're big, long injuries. And he's not a player that you can depend on now. And he's not getting any younger. What is he, 29 now? He's not young anymore. And if you're still picking up injuries like that are over 3, 4 months, That's a problem. It's the same with Dwight Gale. You know, Dwight Gale had a great winning restart, but then picks up an injury that's now put him out for 4 months. You can't bank on these guys. And as a club, we can't bank on these guys anymore. And it wouldn't surprise me if Gale ends up going in January and we just take a hit on him because he's in the last 6 months of his contract. There's no way he's winning a contract now. He's missing half the season. You know what I mean? Effectively, and this kind of leads on to a potential topic if you want to discuss it. Eventually, you know, he's going to move on because we ain't offering him a new contract now. That injury there has effectively ruined his any chance of him staying at the club. So you know, there's question marks there. Do we need another striker?
Yeah, that's why I said that we need another striker.
Yeah, we'll get onto that in a bit. But let's move on to midfield now. So let's throw a couple curveballs as Pete Downs out. What are you drinking? Cognac there, Pete?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
bro, man's got the yak out.
Man.
Man's got the yak out.
You know it's a good night, man.
Hey, if we got that takeover.
Got my missus on it as well, man.
Hey, if we got that takeover, I'd have put a bottle of Ciroc myself, boy. Man's got the yak out. Yeah.
This is what's coming out. Trust me, the day that takeover, whenever it happens.
We started a couple of players, and we're all on the sauce. So
man's on the yak.
Yeah. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I just spotted that. I was like, right. So set midfield now. Right, this is where we've got choices. We've got Shelby and Hayden, obviously, everyone's probably first choice. But we've also got the Longstaff brothers. We've got Jeff Hendrick as well. So that's five players.
That's that food, boy.
And 5 players compete for a lot.
We're deep now, fam. What?
Deep, bro. Yeah, so there's 5 centre midfielders competing for 2 spots. Who goes in there? Starting.
Right, it's got to be Hayden and Shelby, man. Hayden's my favourite Newcastle player. And he must be buzzing now. Because he's got quality around him. Like, his job's going to be just a bit more lighter now. Because when he does break up the play, now he has ballers to spread it to. Yeah.
That's it.
You know what? It'd be a really nice touch at the end of this transfer window. Like a deadline day thing where we just announce that he's been given a new contract. I think that would just make everything just like icing on the cake. We get a couple more signings in, or 2 or 3 more signings in. We get like a Jamal Lewis, a Holding, one other loan that we've still got available to us. And then we start signing people on contracts. We get Hayden nailed down because he is a fantastic centre midfielder. And you know what? He's still young and he's not even in his peak years yet. You know, that's the beauty of us getting the likes of Ryan Fraser. He's 26 years old. We've got Wilson, who's 28. They've still got their best years ahead of them. Hayden's still got the best years ahead of him. And for me, is a guaranteed starter for us in that midfield. For me, next to him, Shelby, for sure, as Fumby said. I don't know where my man's gone over the last couple of weeks. He hasn't played in any of these friendlies. So he must have been one of those players that were carrying an injury. And I worry that he's not going to be ready for Saturday because we're going to need him because he plays his best football against West Ham.
Yeah.
He always does. And you're going to want so maximum on one side running at them. You got to Fraser running the other side, Wilson through the middle, Miggy just causing havoc, and then you're going to want Shelby just playing those passes. You're going to want that. You're going to want that, and then Hayden breaking it all up. You're going to want that on Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, so Shelby and Hayden, they've got the partnership. They played well together. You know what I mean? They're the ones like for Matty Longstaff, for Hendrick, for Sean Longstaff, even though I'm playing further forward. Right, you got to be better than them. You got to be better than them. What are you going to do to get yourself in that team? That's what it should be about. And those guys need to step up this year.
Okay, so moving on to that. So I'll take it with what? Playing 3 behind Wilson, or I'm assuming it's got this Wilson up top, but 3 behind Wilson then. Who is it going to be? We've got ASM, obviously, Miggy, Fraser now, Christian Atsu, Jacob Murphy. I mean, I'm clutching, guys. I mean, you can even say Henri Save.
Oh my God. I forgot you were this.
John Barnes.
I think it's definitely Murphy, Atsu, and Muto in the middle. I think that's what we should run with.
Oh, jeez.
Muto as well. I mean, look.
We should go with Atsu and Murphy. That's what we should definitely go with.
Look, hear me out. I know everyone's going to say ASM, and I totally agree. Cool. I know everyone's probably going to say Miggy. Cool. But then there's the other one as well, the other spot. Now, people have been talking about Longstaff, Sean Longstaff, that is not Matty, playing further up in that number 10 role, so just behind the striker. So again, that's another option there as well. Obviously, Ryan Fraser coming into the club, that's another option without a shadow of doubt. We can't even forget about Joe Linton because he's been bare P on him, and he's got to start somewhere. So he's the other thing. So
yeah.
I mean, if we're going with the formation we said, and it's 3 behind the striker, obviously the striker being Callum Wilson. For me, I play Miggy off him, just behind him, just off him, and then put. There's no way I'm having Ryan Fraser and ASM in my team, and I'm deliberating whether I should start one of them or not. They're both starting. If they're both fit, them men are starting. If you don't want to play Miggy behind Callum, that's Callum, that's up to you. But them two are on the wings. Simple.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, there's obviously question marks about Matt Ritchie because we don't know what's going on with him. I know there was talk of him going to Bournemouth and putting a transfer request in and all this business the last sort of 24 hours. But you can't. He'd be the next in line. But for me, Ryan Fraser hasn't had a pre-season. That's the slight worry in going into Saturday in terms of him starting because he literally hasn't trained with the club. He hasn't had any pre-season games. Hopefully he's been looking after himself, which, by the interviews and that, it seems like he has. My man still be 10 times better than Joe Linton without no pre-season. You know what I mean? Without no pre-season, without no games, my man is still go out there and get an assist or a goal or create something for us more than what Joe Linton would do. So, you know what? I'd have him ready, and then hopefully, if Richie's fit, then he can come on off the bench and cause.
Or you could do that Matt Longstaff thing you want to do, whatever you want to do after that. But we gotta see him run.
Right, right. So I've got to ask you guys now. We kind of alluded to it earlier. What other signings do we need as well? We need another striker, I think, in my opinion. Batshuayi has been linked apparently season-long loan. Right back again. I know, Batman.
There's options. There's options.
If we do that, I'm yelling top 4 all season. If we do that, I'm yelling top 4.
Top 4, man. Yeah, bro. Come on.
Honestly, there are, and we said it way back, even before the end of restart, right? This summer is such an unusual summer. Obviously, with COVID and everything's going on, and people not spending as much, but actually, there are a lot of quality players available for not a lot of money, right? We've benefited from that with Ryan Fraser, with Hendricks, with potentially Jamal Lewis at 14 million. But you've also got some cracking loans, and Chelsea are there to be had. You got Tamori, you got Tamori. You could go through their whole squad. You got Tamori, you got Batshuayi, you got Tammy Abrahams, you got
Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, you got Hudson-Odoi if he's available. You've got players there that you could take. Obviously, we could only take one out of that group. You got Ross Barkley. You can only take one, but actually, there's a lot of options there that you could. But even you go around some of the other squads. You got the young lad for Arsenal. What's it? Nketiah. I can't pronounce his name. Yeah, Nketiah. Potentially him if they're willing to loan him out. You've got options there. So it's really, for our fans go mad if we're not spending big money. And obviously they're really happy with us getting 20 million, putting that down on Wilson, and it's great to see. But actually, there's a lot of good players there that you don't have to pay a lot of money for.
Let me ask you this. Would you guys take Troy Deeney and hear me out with this?
I want you to say what you want to say. I want you to say what you want to say, because I'm going to go back to a conversation that we had, right? Probably about 5 or 6 streams ago.
Was he gassing?
Go on. So go on. No. Go on.
Right. So Troy Deeney came out with an interview not too long ago talking about he still can do it and all the rest of it. Then he was comparing his numbers to Haller, worth 40 million. Joe Linton, 40 million. And the numbers that they got. And he said he only cost 300k. They cost 40 million. Troy Deeney, I put this out. I put a tweet out. People say, oh, what? Troy Deeney? No, man. He's like 30 odd. He's old. He's a grandpa. And even like banter last season, he was talking about, I'm not that old. Remember in that post-match interview he did?
Yeah.
And I was like, I would still take Troy Deeney. Like, don't get me wrong. People like say, oh, we've got Andy Carroll. He's old enough, but he's still knows where the back of the net is. Do you know what I mean?
I'll take Troy Deeney for those. Listen, when it's those tough games and it's hard on us to break down that team, you bring on a Troy Deeney. No defender wants to see Troy Deeney coming on 75 minutes. Nobody wants that. So yeah, as a backup, I would definitely take Troy Deeney.
And
that would be a good striker.
He's bringing players in the game.
And he still wants to play. That's the good thing. He still wants to play.
It's interesting you both said that, because when we were going back to this chat a while back, right, a few streams ago, I put out that question to you guys. I said, "What do you think about Troy Deeney?" And you both were like, "Nah, Troy Deeney, what are you on about?"
You know what it was, man? Man had his heart set on the Jesus, and remember, man was calling out Gabriel Jesus. Man thought we had Arab money coming in. I thought, don't disrespect the bank account, please.
But on a serious note, for me, Troy Deeney is up there at the top for a second choice striker option.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
He's going to cost. He's got what?
Nothing.
Less than a year on his contract. He's going to cost next to nothing to sign at 32 years old. Last season, he's still got double figures. Watford got relegated.
And people might say, double figures. Most of them from the penalty spot. People don't say, well, look at Bruno Fernandes. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
A lot of them were from the penalty spot.
It don't matter.
If we win and he's scoring penalties, I don't care.
That's it. All he needs to know is that they're putting him in the back of the net. Penalties, free kicks, tap-ins, off your ass, I don't care. As long as he do that.
He also said that he put too much pressure on himself and he played too many games. At Newcastle, he won't have to play that many games. So when he's coming on, he's raring to go. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's not the pressure. We're not asking him to come to Newcastle to score all our goals. We're asking him to come and contribute to goals. Yeah. And that's what he will do. You know, Callum Wilson's job is to score.
And even at 32, apart from that injury at the beginning of last season, he very rarely gets injured and for long periods of time. So if we can manage that and he's not playing as many games, you've got someone that actually is likely to stay fit more than Andy Carroll and more than Dwight Gale.
Yeah,
so then you've got two strikers that have got fantastic movement, that will work their asses off for 90 minutes, right, and cause defences havoc. And actually, not just as individuals, they can actually play together as a partnership and work really well together. Because Deeney can play that target man and he can play over the top because he's still got that ability. For me, he's a no-brainer. The only question is that how much money would he want in wages? But I'm sure we could work around that, because he's always said in his interviews, Newcastle is one place he loves to play. It's his favourite ground in the Premier League. And if he got the opportunity to come to Newcastle, he would snap their hands off. He'd be straight there. If we came in for him, he's not the type of guy that will go looking for a move, and he's already come out and said that. He's not going to go looking for a move. If nobody comes in for him with a concrete offer, he'll stay at Watford and stay in the Championship. He's that type of guy. And he's the captain as well. But if Newcastle slapped 1-2 million, maybe 2-3 million down at 32 years old, he'd be knocking on that door saying, "Let me go." Guaranteed.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we're all in agreement. Obviously, we need another striker. Anywhere else in
left back?
Another left back, probably. Yep. I mean, if it's
left back, definitely.
We was linked with, well, we always know like the situation that we had before. We had Williams at the start of the season, got injured. Brought in Rose. Yeah, he's up for debate. And then obviously now Lewis. We still need another left back, in my opinion. Still need another.
I mean, we got Domit, but
yeah, I don't know, bro.
I like Domit, but we're not gonna get much. Do you know what I mean? With him on the left, we're just gonna have to rely on our wingers to really get the job done. Like he won't cause us issues at the back, but.
He always used to get nosebleeds every single time he went past the halfway line. Like, in terms of the modern day fullback, you've got to be bombing forward. If you look at Robertson, if you look at Chilwell, you know, you've got to be bombing forward. Dummett doesn't do that. He doesn't do that.
You know the worst part? He's actually got a decent left foot.
Yeah.
Like passing.
He's when he gets into the right positions, he's got a decent cross on him, but he's not that overlapping wing back that Zetro Williams or someone else's. I mean, you could get Zetro Williams on peanuts now. You might have to pay a little bit in wages, but you could. I
think that injury is what killed him. I think that injury is why we don't want him.
He's looking at being around and ready to go around October time. It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me if there's another left back in the offing, and it may not be Rogerio. It may well be. It may not be. But it wouldn't surprise me if Rogerio deal doesn't happen, and we get Zetro Williams on a free on deadline day or something like that when he's about ready. We're typical Newcastle like that. We want to wait until the player's just about fit, just about ready to go before we sign him. And he'd hold on for us. He'd hold on till January, Zetro Williams will, because he's already made it clear. His next club he wants to be playing for is Newcastle, nobody else. So, you got to take that and you got to look and say, okay, he's injured. But if you're buying Jamal Lewis as your first choice left back, Zetro Williams is not a bad alternative to have. This is about building a squad. We're going to be playing a lot of games this season in a shorter space of time compared to any other season. We've got to make sure that our squad is ready, to handle this. With all the injuries we've had in previous seasons, or certainly last season, we need to make sure we've got quality players coming in to replace quality players. That's been our issue.
Okay, let's go back in time to where we started the chat. Callum Wilson and Fraser. So, Callum Wilson apparently is going to take the number 9 shirt as well. What does that mean to you guys in terms of that significant number?
Nothing to me. That don't mean shit. The only thing that means to me is getting the goals in. I don't care if he wears number 250. Just score.
I mean, yeah.
It's the iconic number for the club. It's the iconic number, but it's not a number to be. It's not a number to be kind of just thrown around. If we look at the quality players,
it seems like it.
Well, at the moment it is, but
we had no choice.
But that's typical under Ashley. He holds no value to anything at our club. He don't really care. If it's not anything he's making money on, he ain't interested. Now, the number 9's historic. It goes back to Jackie Milburn's, the Malcolm McDonald's, the top players that have played over the years, even before us being fans. It's been iconic, and with Andy Cole, he was the reason I started following Newcastle, watching him play as number 9. You got Les Ferdinand, you got for yourself, Clint. You got Alan Shearer that's took it on for them the next 10 years. You've got players that have wore that number 9, but with every one of those players that we've talked about, scored goals. They were hungry for goals. They were desperate for goals. That was their be all and end all. It's about putting that ball in the net, week in, week out. Having Joe Linton as a number 9 is a disgrace, particularly about the fact that he doesn't really see the importance of scoring goals or value it. So Callum Wilson, from what he said in his interview today, he sold me on that number 9 jersey because he wants the goals. He wants to be the man. And that's exactly what Newcastle fans want.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on us just throwing it about. I think it looks like we've handed it out like once every season. When we gave it to Rondon, who was only on loan, then we gave it to obviously Joe Linton, and now we're giving it to Wilson. I like someone to kind of stick with it now for at least a good 3 or 4 seasons, but maybe that's me being like a bit old school and going back to what you said, Pete, about Shearer having it for 10 years. I don't think there's anyone who have it for that long now, but at least 3 or 4 seasons. So Wilson signed a 4-year deal with us. Take it for the 4 years, run with it, score goals in it, be iconic up here. Might even pick up some silverware whilst you're here. Who knows? And go from there. Really, just wrapping things up. How do we go forward like this week? Obviously, we're going to sign Lewis tomorrow, by the looks of it. We've got West Ham on the weekend, is it? What else do we need to do? Like going into this game, into this fixture.
We need to see if Kai Havertz is still available.
Oh Lord, man!
I don't see us. Once Jamal Lewis is in, I don't see us doing any more business this side of the Premier League matches starting at the weekend. There was talk about Rob Holding. Apparently, there's a U-turn from Arteta, and that they're considering keeping him now. He played well in the Community Shield. To be fair, he did play well, and obviously with their quarantining and injury list, he's a player that ultimately they do want to keep, which is why there wasn't an option to buy. But because of his injuries that he's had, they want him to play regular football to prove that he's past his injuries, and they want him to come to us for that reason. But if they can see that that's already not an issue anymore, the likelihood is they'll probably keep him. But then there's an option of someone like Tomori at Chelsea, who wants to go on loan as another option to bring in instead, potentially. But like I say, I don't think that will come now until after the West Ham game. So we'll have the guys that we've got. And we should be bouncing into that game. West Ham, and because you spoke to the Lawless guy, West Ham are on the floor at the moment. They're falling apart, and we should be taking advantage of that.
Yeah,
we should be going in there full of confidence because that's a game we can get 3 points from.
That's what I was about to say. If we don't beat them, Pete, I'll be very disappointed.
No,
for me, come on, look. They're on the floor, like Pete said. I suppose we can't say much because we lost.
Wise, you're right.
Let me just be beating Madrid in that. We just signed a couple men,
I know, but at the same time, they ain't signed no one. And this is the reason why me and Dan are debating who's got the worst loaning because they ain't signed nobody, and we signed 2 players in a day. So although it might be players, like we're at least going forward a little bit more than them. Do you know what I mean? We're not playing Man City. We're playing West Ham, who we pretty much got the better of last season. I think we drew with them at home, and then we beat them away, didn't we?
Should have beaten them at home.
Exactly. So it's not exactly like they've gone on and done better than us during this window. We've done better than them this window, and we was pretty much on par with them, if not a bit better. So that's the reason why I said it from me. With your little cracking jokes and that. I see you. All right. All right.
No, I hear you. You know what? Yeah, I just don't want to go in overly gassed.
No.
I mean, I want to manage my expectations. But you know me. I'm gonna watch that game. If we win more than 2-0, I'm saying in it. Where's Madrid, bro? Why are we in the Premier League? Why are we not in La Liga, Rupert?
I mean, I wouldn't be taking that energy. I mean, you're taking that Kai Havertz energy.
I told you, if we beat West Ham, and Fraser scores or Callum Wilson, top 4, black. That's all I'm saying.
You just reminded me. Pete, hasn't he got a bet to do, like something with a headband or something like that?
Headband, innit?
Yeah.
If what though? What was the thing?
Yeah, what was the?
What was it? Was it by Christmas or something?
If we're doing bits by Christmas, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm wearing a Gucci headband the whole season.
If we're top 8, top 10, or top 10,
top 10.
Top 13th or whatever. It was depending on which position we're in, depending on which headband you would wear.
Yeah. If it was top 10, I think we're gonna get the Gucci headband. But if it was like 13th and that, we'll just draw Gucci on it. We'll get the budget version.
Oh yeah, just reminded me. We had a question last stream. I can't remember the name of the guy, but you responded back to him, Pete, on Twitter. Iceman. Yeah, that was it. And he was asking why we support Newcastle because accents, we don't sound like or look like your typical Jordan. I think I definitely tweeted out my reasons, but I can go for it again. Mainly because Les Ferdinand signed for the club from my local area, just to summarize it. And then being a supporter 20 odd years now, ever since, for whatever reason. Why, I don't know why. I could have just been easy and just supported Arsenal like people think I do, but I don't. But yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Pete, do you want to go through? And then we get
our first game I watched was Leicester Newcastle when we won 7-1 to get promoted to the Premier League. So watching Andy Cole score a hat-trick that day and just tear it up was like an eye-opener, really, because it was like the first time I properly watched football with intent and actual interest of watching football, and I was hooked after that. And I've supported them ever since. It's been, 28 years, 29 years, something like that. A long time, put it that way. 28 years, I think it is. But I've supported them ever since, followed them all over. Home, away, Europe. More lows than highs, but hopefully that will change soon.
Probably what you said. Go on.
Yes, bruv. Literally I moved to Nigeria when I was 10. I didn't have a team. My brother supported Tottenham. And you support the team your brother and your dad support. But I wasn't into football like that. Came back from Nigeria and I was like 16. And I think I'd just seen England in the Euros. And Shearer just batted up the whole tournament. And I just kind of followed. And I remember he just signed to Newcastle for 15 million. So it was the first time I even heard about a Newcastle United. And I was thinking, well, if they're signing Shearer, they must be a big team. I come back to England and I'm watching the Premier League, right? And normally you just go for Arsenal because Ian Wright was big and everybody loved Ian Wright. But I just love something about Newcastle. We had Beardsley, we just had ballers. That's brilliant. We were unorthodox. If we won, it was 7-0. If we lost, it was 6-4. We were just balling out of control. I just fell in love with the team. And what I loved was I followed Newcastle and I just became very passionate about it. But I knew I was supportive when the first time we got relegated. Because remember, I was supporting Newcastle when we were having a man like Cliver in the team. We were playing the Champions League. You know what I mean? I was waiting for the time we were going to sign Ronaldinho, Zidane. That's what my mind was at. And then we got relegated, and I was like, whoa. Then I knew what being a fan was because I followed that championship journey, and I still had the love for the team. So, yeah man. And we're here still. You see what I'm saying? And that's why, remember at the beginning of this, at the end of the last, when the season ended, we were all down. You know what I mean? The season had ended bad. We didn't get the takeover. So we're thinking, man, but we all said, look, they just need to now get players in and make us happy, make us believe that we can go into a season. And today, like, bruv, I'm thinking if we don't make top 4, then, you know, I don't know why we even signed these guys.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I was about 90 minutes away from supporting Brentford. I'm not gonna lie, next season.
Bro, hey Pete, you see how these men change course here? Remember, Pete, we didn't care. We ain't supporting no Brentford out here.
True that.
I just want location, man. I just wanted to make it easy for myself. You know what I mean?
Man.
Who wants to be checking up to Newcastle all the time to watch games and stuff? That's long.
Hey, do you know what, Matt Clinton? Yeah, you know what though? I just knew. I know it's dire, innit? But I just knew. Bruce has a point to prove. That's why it's funny, innit? Because he actually wants to be the guy. That's why he's gone and done this, innit? So that's why I knew we'll do something. I don't know. I didn't know it was gonna. I knew we'll get the good mood again. Do you know what I mean? I was pissed off, but I knew they're not mad, innit? They're not gonna just be like, well, no takeover, we ain't signing no players. I'm going to Ashley's house.
Okay. I mean,
so he knew I had to spend that money.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to seeing some Brucelona football next season.
Brucelona, baby.
Brucelona. Shout out to was that Andrew Young or someone else? Someone put that in the chat, and I'm just nicked it. I'm running with it.
I think it was Andrew Young.
Shout out to Andrew Young if it was you who said that. I'm running with that Brucelona football. That's it, guys. We've had an hour. I think we've just kind of gone through everything. Callum Wilson side, Ryan Fraser side, Jamal Lewis tomorrow. Messi on Wednesday, Mbappe on Thursday.
Busquets and all them, man. Bring him in.
Busquets and all the rest of them. Kai Havertz. This the day before we
loan deal. They're gonna loan him out to us to get that experience.
Exactly. Now you know that I'm talking rubbish. The cognac's hit me, and I'm not even drinking the cognac. That's it, guys.
I just get a fresh one, man.
Yeah, go get a fresh one, bro.
Hey, Saturday, after the game, right?
Yeah, listen, it might even be sooner because if we sign Jamal Lewis and a couple man, we might have to have a nice little sit down.
Like a pre-match thing on Friday, yeah? Okay, all right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank you for everyone listening in. Hopefully we've kept you entertained. I know I've been entertained. And I'll see you guys all soon. Take care, fellas.
Peace, man. Bless, guys.